Multiply strings. Let's do this one. Multiply strings. Given two non-negative integers num1 and num2 represent as strings, return the product. Okay. Also represents a string. You must not use any built-in big integer library or convert the inputs to integer directly. Of course, the first thing I will do is I will convert them to integer and see how that goes, and then I will iterate on the solution. So this is just return what was it? Is it parse int? Yeah, parse int times parse int and to string. Let's see if it passes the test case. Nice. And if I submit it, let's see if wrong answer. What? That's weird. That seems like an edge case. So, okay, they can be very large. Is that the reason? Anyway, I was going to do this because they said you must not convert them to integer. Okay, let's try that. Let's work on strings. So this is like a simple multiplication. There will be two while loops, right? The first one, let's say j equals 0, j is smaller than 1 dot length, j plus plus, and then the other one will loop over. Why did I call this j? Let's make this I and the other one j. That's how I do always. Let j equals 0, j is smaller than 2 dot length. So the outer loop loops over the first number, digits of the first number, and this one, the inner loop, loops over the digits of the second number, j plus plus. And let's think. So for a given digit here, actually let me just try a multiplication here with pen and paper and see how I do it. So this is the num1, this is num2. So I take one here, the last digit, actually, the least significant digit. So we start from back of the string, and we do a multiplication there. Okay. So I will multiply them and keep a running counter, like let sum equals 0. Const, no, I don't need this because I can get the number with the index, right? But that might be costly, so let's initialize it here. Multiplier equals num1 dot. Can I do this? I think I can. Okay. And of course the integer value. How do I get this? Let me see. So if this is 5 dot I'm trying to get convert this to the integer representation. What's this one doing? Okay, let's ask Google. I mean, I'm trying to do something like this, like -0, right? So JavaScript get ASCII code of characters. Okay, so this is something I can try. Yeah, this is doing the job. Okay, so here the multiplier is dot. Yeah, I can do this right, like this. Okay, so the multiplier is there, and sum plus equals multiplier times num2 let's take this here. So this is the num2 and the index is j this time. Okay, so what this is missing is that this doesn't account for the digits, like the first digit is like it's used as is, and the second digit will be multiplied by 10 and by 100 and etc. So I need something like, I can use j, right? I can use j, and I can let tens equals 1, and every time after each iteration tens is multiplied by 10, and I'm using it here. Okay, so this is the first one, right? And I want to take this into another function just to make it easier to understand. Multiply single digit, right? You take the digit which is a number at this point, and the other one is string, and take this one here. This is the number, and the multiplier is just the digit, and you return the sum. So I've encapsulated this into another function. So let's delete this. So I'll call multiply single digit with the multiplier, which is that digit now, and this number doesn't change, and I will need another tens here, right? Do I need it? Yes, I need it. Tens 1. After each one I do this, tens is multiplied by 10, and then I need a running sum. Let result equals 0, result plus equals multiply single digit and multiply to tens, return result dot to string. Let's see how this works. Where was I? Okay, let's run it on the test case. Nice, beautiful. The second one is wrong. So it does the basic case, but it fails here. Okay, let's take a look at the code, right? Let's look at this one, multiplying a single digit with, oh, okay. So I forgot to do this, right? As I mentioned, I should look to the string from the end, start from the end, right? So this needs to be num.length minus j minus 1 to account for the zero based indexing. Again here, num1.length minus I minus 1, run. Okay, this is working. Let's see if it passes the whole test cases. Interesting. So this is the same error that I got when I did the, like, you converted them to integer. I'm not sure why this is happening. Actually, I'll do this one times this one. Okay, why am I doing it there? Times this one. It ends with a 0. What? How can this end with a 0? Because it cannot convert it. Okay, so it wants me to handle the big integer cases. I see. I'm not an expert on this, but I think what's happening is this result is overflowing somehow. So I need to implement like integer, my own integer class, something like that. Of course I won't do that. So if I declare this as a big int, what happens? Can I do this? Okay. So result is a big int. And let's make this also big int. I don't think we need this to be big int, but anyway. What's it complaining about? Big int and big int. That's an interesting one. So how can I do this multiplication? By using only strings. To do that, I need to implement the addition, right? This is not the problem. This can, because this is multiplying with a single digit, I think. Or, but if the if this string is too long, then it might be a problem as well. So how do we do this? Let me think. I need an addition operator and I need a multiplication operator, right? So if I declare a class my big int and in the constructor I do this, and I will have a function that will return a big int multiply why is it complaining about? Oh, okay, sorry. I should do this like that. So okay, so I'll have a multiply and I will have an addition. Actually, I don't need the addition, right? Do I need an addition? No, I need an addition. I was thinking if I can implement it in terms of multiplication or something like that, but anyway, I will need these two methods, right? And then, so this logic, I will take it inside the class. So return new my big int, right, times new my big int. This returns a big int and I need the string representation JavaScript override to string. Yeah, I think I can just do it like this. Okay, so this will be toString. So let's begin from the easy one. I think it should be easier, the addition. So how do I add two numbers? That multiplier dot num. So I will iterate over both digits, right? And I will write it to a new string. Like this. So I will have, what do I need? I need to iterate I think I can make it easier to iterate on it by setting the by padding the smaller string with zeros on the left. Yeah, I think this should be easier. So if if this dot num dot length is greater than multiplier, if this is the case, then the multiplier changes, and I do something like pad start max length. Yeah, the max length is this dot num dot length, and the filling string is 0, else I pad this, and by using the length of the other string. Okay, so they are at this point they are equal. Does this return a new string pads the current string? Yeah, it returns a new string, right? So let's not make this read only. Because the string is, I think it was immutable. Anyway, so they are both the same length. Let I equals 0, I smaller than this, I plus plus. So at each iteration, I will, yeah, I won't do this character code thing. I will just, or should I do it? Okay, let's do it like this. Let's do it like this. So where did this come from? Anyway, I will add multipliers character code at this dot num dot length minus I minus 1 minus 0 dot character code at 0. This is a constant, right? I can take this as a constant, but I won't do it. I won't bother doing it. So this plus the other one, which is this dot num, sum equals this, right? So what do I write to sum? To result, sorry. I always write to the beginning of it equals sum dot toString plus result, right? This is how I do it. And of course I will need some carryover. Carryover is initially zero, and I use it here all the time and calculate it here again. Carryover equals sum divided by 10 right? And if at the end there's a carryover, what I do is I do this again, right? Result equals, of course this time it's the carryover. And what do I return? I return a new my big int with the result in it. And toString is just return this dot num. Do I need to remove the leading zeros? Trim start. No, it's not that one. Anyway, I'll probably need it, but let's do it like this for now. Let's do multiplication. This is going to be more involved, right? It will be more involved, but it's not impossible, right? Because it's like I will do the multiplication. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it like this. We will have 2 for loops, like here. That's for sure. Let's take it from this one. So the outer one and this is this one. Sorry, this is the multiplier. Okay, so these are the iterations, and I will, so here I will, how am I going to do it? I have addition, right? I know how to add. Okay, I can use addition here. Let result equals new my big int, which is 0 initially, and I know how many, so I will calculate the sum here. Okay, and I will, so the sum will be a string, and I will append some zeros. How many zeros? Depending on I. Multiplier dot num dot length minus I, and in the first iteration, no, I can use I as is, right? In the first iteration it won't do anything. Okay, I can do it like this. Sum equals this one, and result equals result dot add new my big int sum, return result. So I think this should work. Let's implement the actual multiplication here. So at this point I have a digit here, which is multiplier dot num dot character code at I, sorry, this dot num, sorry, this not this multiplier dot num dot length minus I minus 1 minus 0 dot character code at 0. So I have the digit, which is an integer, right? Yes, it's a number. And I will multiply it here with each of the digits here. Const current equals this dot num, so this will be j. Current digit, let's call this current digit. What I will do is digit times current digit. So this is multiplication, right? And it will have a carryover as well. Let carryover equals 0. Sum equals, initially it's empty. So what I will do is sum equals this I hope I am doing it right, plus sum carryover is like this one. Right? I think this is correct. For instance, if it's 9 and 9, this will be 1, right? I will write 1 there, and this will be, oh, it's not right. I haven't used carryover. So I'm doing multiplication. Let me return to my paper and pen. So I multiply, I add carryover, and then I do this. So I multiply, I add the carryover, and then I do this. What? So I do this, and then actually let's take this as a separate variable, so I can use it here again. Okay, and if there's carryover at the end, if carryover what do I do? To string sum equals plus sum. I think this should work. Should it? We will see. Result returns the result. So I don't need this anymore. Let's find out. This one is again true. This one is wrong. So what do I do here? I initialize 2 instances and I multiply them and I convert to string, right? So let's look at addition. Where do I use addition? I use it here. Let's check addition. I have a, this is not the multiplier, right? this is a number. Let's call it num or input. Okay, so there's a result which is a string. Okay, let's try it here. Let's take this. What? Of course. Why is it complaining? I don't understand why it's complaining. I'm trying to understand if I have implemented addition correctly or not. Yeah, this seems correct, right? If I do it like this, correct. If I do it like this, again correct. So my addition logic, this is correct. This is correct. So there's a problem here then. Let's try to find what's wrong here. So I initialize result as a big integer. Okay. So I loop. At each iteration, I am multiplying using one digit, and I am looping over this one over the input. So I take the digit here. And then carry over is 0. So I'm multiplying it with digit. This is the current digit. This seems correct. Okay, digit times current digit plus carryover gives me the value, and I take this, convert it to string, and sum it, like append it to the sum, and carryover becomes value divided by 10. For instance, if value is 81, this gives you 8, right? Which seems correct. At the end, if there's a carryover, I convert it to string and add it to the sum, and then pad end. in the first iteration it will be none. In the second one, this should work. Why is it not working? Result equals result plus add. Why is it not working? So there's a problem in the multiplication logic. Let me try to find what's going wrong here. Okay, this is the one. Actually, I can just log it here to see what's going wrong. So in the first iteration, these are the logs, right? These are the logs. In the first iteration, it's printing so this is num1 multiplied by num2. So here multiplier is this one, 456. 456 is the multiplier, and I'm looping over it. So at first I'm taking the digit 6, right? Because the length is 3. I'm taking the character code at 2. Which is 6. Just to make sure I'm doing it right, I will log it as well. Yeah, 654. Okay. So that's correct. This one is correct. Okay. Carry over. So at the end here, the sum is 7338. Is this correct? Yeah, it seems correct. 6 times 123. Yeah, this is correct. 5 times this one is correct as well. Oh no, it's not correct. It didn't pad. Okay, so it's my misunderstanding of this max length. I should give the length of the total string here, right? Not just I. So I should do it like this. Yeah, this should work. Let's comment this one out and try to run it again. Perfect. My algorithm was correct. It's just that I misunderstood the function that pads the string. But here I am having some trouble. So this says the expected. Okay, so I should truncate leading zeros. I can do this, right? This should be easy. So I have a string here, and I want to truncate the leading zeros. How do I do it? How do I do this? Like, this should map to 5, right? And this should map to 0. There are many ways to do it, right? I can do it in a while loop. While result while result let me think. So I will do some iteration and I want to break the loop once either the length is 1 while the result's length is greater than 1 and result dot character at 0 equals 0. I do this result equals result dot substring, or was it slice? Yeah, like this, I think. Return result. Perfect. It's working.